There is one skill that every musical theater performer needs if they want to succeed in this industry, and it is not the skill that you think. So I'm going to walk you through what it is, how to strengthen that skill, and how to make sure that you use your time and your action steps in this career so that it is valuable, it is going to move you forward at a comfortable pace, and you're not going to waste time in the rat race throwing spaghetti at the wall. Let's dive into it. You know, there are two different types of people at the gym that you see, but that person that gets a gym membership at a specific time, right? They make a decision, there's a tipping point, and they're like, December at the end of the year, and my New Year's goal is to go to the gym and really hone in on that. And then they go hardcore January and February. And because they haven't been doing it very often and they're just like going 1,000%, they burn out. They don't see results because they're frustrated, there's no strategic action plan, and then they stop going. Or it becomes the summertime, it's like, May or maybe even April, and they get a gym membership and they want to get that like summer body in, they're going to go to the beach, and then the summer happens and it's over and they stop. And then that cycle happens over and over again, and really you don't see long-term results. Compared to the other side of the gym person, it's really part of their life. And it is woven into their weekly routine. It's woven into their monthly routine. And it may not be perfect, but they're going to be the people that go to the gym a couple times a week, 3 or 4 times a week, or they're going to take a week off and come back, but they're consistent with how they are approaching their fitness for whatever personal reason it may be, internal or external. It's very similar with musical theater. And the reason why I want to make that comparison is because if you want to see results, you have to have this one skill. And the one skill that you need in musical theater that you have to strengthen if you want to see those results both internally and physically outside of you is strategic persistence. It is your golden ticket. It is not talent. That is not the skill that is going to long-term. Yes, you need to be talented, but talent is subjective. You need to have and be the person and have it woven into your routine where you are consistently working on your craft, training, submitting, making the next step forward for you, whether that is getting a new agent, getting an agent, new materials, going to the next level of your career, whether that is higher paid, whether that's joining the union, whether that's going to Broadway auditions, whether that's meeting new casting directors, whatever your next step is, that's the job. And you have to be strategic about it because it can't be the same thing over and over again. The way that you did something last year in this career is not going to work this year. You're different. The industry is different. And we're avoiding burnout. That's what I mean with perseverance. That's what I mean with being persistent. If you're going to be the musical theater performer, if we go back to that gym equation, that shows up for their audition season, which is January, February, March now, maybe kind of into April. But if you're going to be the person that's like, I'm going to do the thing, it's audition season, whether you're in New York City or whether you're in a different type of city that has auditions once a year, if you wait and you were like, it's audition season, let me get back in my singing and my acting and my dancing, and let me, go through my material and get back into shape. And no, long term, that is not going to help you because you're going to get to the point where you're going to be that person that goes to the gym once a year. You're going to do it for a couple months. You're not going to see any results, or you may see some, like you may get lucky and absolutely you get cast in something. Is it possible? Sure. But then you're going to go back into that realm of it's not part of your routine and it's not woven into the fabric of your life. So you're not going to be in shape for it when it comes. And it's not just about vocally, are you in shape? It's also about, are you mentally and emotionally in shape for those auditions? Do you know how to navigate those? Because you haven't been doing that, right? It's like going to the gym. When you start going to the gym again, it is hard. It is really, really hard because you're not used to it. You're uncomfortable in the space. You're uncomfortable with your body. You don't really remember how to use the equipment. You've got to get your body back used to it. And you go for like 20 minutes on the treadmill or the bike or whatever. And you're like, I can't handle anymore. That's what it's like for us. Absolutely 100%, because we are athletes as well. So I really want you to think about actionable steps that you can weave into the fabric of your life on a long term. And let me give you an exact example and a story of something that happened to me that showcased the importance of this. At the very beginning of my career, I grew up in Oklahoma, a very small city in a little town in Oklahoma. And I went to college, I went to undergrad, I got my BA in musical theater, a small, very not well known program in Oklahoma. After I graduated, two options available for me. One option is stay in a place that I was comfortable in. I had a boyfriend at that time that I thought was going to be a very long-term situation. My family was there. My friends were there. I was comfortable there. I grew up there. My life was there. I was woven into the culture and the fabric of that community. And then the other side, which was I wanted to do musical theater. There was very little to no musical theater available for me long-term in my goal. I had already worked in the 2 union houses in the state. Did I want to stay where I was comfortable, or did I need to make the decision of making this big leap and this big jump so that I could move on to the next chapter and the next phase of my career? And it was the hardest decision, the first most challenging decision I ever had to make in my life. And I did it. And I said, if I want to go to the next level of my career, I have to make this strategic decision that is going to be hard, uncomfortable, painful, and it's going to have consequences. And it did have consequences. But I had to make that decision so I could move forward for me. And a lot of times we forget that because our career and the decisions that we have to make are going to upset people. They just are. And you have to make the decision what's more important to you. Was my life there more important long term to make me happy and joyous, or was it to make the decision to leave? And I did. I made the decision to go straight to New York with literally 2 suitcases and money in my savings and a sublet I got from a friend of a friend of a friend back in the day. This was early 2000s, and I just did it, and it showcased that I had to make my own path. But the best part about that is that set me up for saying, okay, I can make hard decisions. I can do hard things in my life because I know what I want to do in my life. And you're going to have to make those decisions as well. Let me give you another example here. And the reason why I have so many examples here is because this is showcasing to you persistence of someone that has done it. Because not a lot of people talk about this. Not a lot of people talk about the tough decisions they had to make to be persistent, to continue to move forward. Because this is not an easy industry, an easy career. But let's be honest, what life or career or industry is easy, right? Anything's going to be challenging. But ours has different challenges to it. So let me tell you another story real quick. About 4 years ago, I started shifting into the next chapter of my life now that I have been in this industry for a long time. I was starting to make the shift from the West Coast back to the East Coast because I had been in California for a decade and I wanted to get back to the East Coast. It's very different in New York City than it is in LA or in Southern California. Very different industry. And so I had gotten a new agent and I got the call back of one of my dream roles on a Broadway national tour. Was going to send tapes in, and they were like, great, we need to sing these songs, these sides, these materials, and we need you to do a dance combo. And I was like, yeah, great, dance combo, no problem. I hadn't taken dance class in years. I had started to let my physical endurance go, which is why the gym and I are in such a committed relationship now. So I made all the tapes, right? I did all the tapes, I worked on the material, and then I go to start editing the tapes to submit them. And I'm like, oh no, this is not good. This dance tape, this combo, she not good. I was so embarrassed. And then I had to make the decision, a strategic decision, if you will, to say, okay, I'm sending these tapes because I have to send them in. But I know they're not good. And I know I'm probably not going to get a call back off of this. So what am I going to do so this does not happen again? And I immediately said, okay, this is going to be really hard. You're going to be embarrassed going to the gym. And I had to make the decision of, okay, it's time to get this done. It's time to do it. And you're going to have those moments in your life and your career all the time. And instead of saying, well, fine, I'm just not going to dance anymore, or I'm only going to, do singer actor auditions. Well, I suck. I'm just going to stop. Strategic persistence. So what action steps do you need to take to overcome that embarrassing moment so it doesn't happen again? You're going to have those moments where you're going to look at your work and you're going to say, is she not good? This is not good. So what are you going to do about it? Strategic persistence is the skill that you are going to continue to strengthen, continue to work on. And it's going to keep you from hitting burnout. It's going to keep you from saying, I suck, I'm going to quit. It's going to keep you from saying, I don't know what to do, because you know what to do. You're going to sit down and you're going to analyze it, and you're going to figure out what are the next steps to solve the situation, the challenge that I'm having, and then what am I going to do to get me to the next chapter of my life? You're going to make a lot of failures, a lot of mistakes in this career. Like if you're not failing and making mistakes, then you are being comfortable and safe. And that is a mistake right there, okay? So when you make a mistake and you realize it, or when you fail in that dance combo you send, or that video you look back, or that open call, or that audition, or that callback, and it just fails miserably, then you need to sit down and take a minute after and say, okay, what do I need to do now so that I can better navigate that? This could be emotional. It could be anxiety. It could be stress. It could be I need to get back into voice lessons. I need to get comfortable with my body and my voice again. It needs to be I need to get a pop rock song because I showed up at this audition and they were like, where's your pop rock song? And you're like, I don't have one. Okay, solve the problem. But it's about you writing the next one and being willing to write the next chapter, whether it's going to be amazing or whether it's going to be a failure. And there will be some of those chapters that you're going to write that are going to fail. I have them, trust me, but I want you to continue making decisions, creating actionable steps so that you're moving forward in your career. And those setbacks are just learning steps and building blocks to the next one. I hope this chat was helpful for you. If it was, please let me know down in the comments. Give me a thumbs up and let me know what light bulb moments you had just by watching this. I'd love to hear from you, and I will do my very best to comment back to every single one of your comments. I'll see you in the next video.